Uber and Airbnb have dominated the headlines over the past year alongside mentions of the sharing economy. But what exactly is this brave new world of commerce? How is it different from years of trade in the past? Here are 4 ways in which the sharing economy is fundamentally changing the world around us. Every day, we demand goods and services that could be supplied by the people around us, but we're not aware of how to coordinate with those potential sellers. A commuter taking a similar route to work as you may be willing to give you a lift for a small fare. The spare room in your home could be used to house travelers looking for a last-minute bunk to crash on. What stands between buyer and seller are transaction costs, the time, money, and effort needed to facilitate a market exchange. The sharing economy is disrupting this old model by directly connecting producers with consumers, eliminating the need for much of what stands in the middle. Instead of working for a taxi company, drivers can now turn on their cell phones and offer rides to people on the street through mobile apps like Uber as independent contractors. Markets are discovering new frontiers of possibility, disseminating information, lowering prices, and opening entrepreneurial doors at an unprecedented rate. As technology continues to lower transaction costs, many of these obstacles producers face to enter a market are completely being eliminated. By lowering barriers to entry, the sharing economy can help relieve poverty. This gives low-income entrepreneurs, who would otherwise be priced out of the market through costly occupational licenses, the opportunity to flourish in a safe, legal market. According to Institute of Justice, the average lower-income occupational licenses require workers to spend 9 months in training and $200 in fees. These costs constitute the line between success or poverty for many aspiring entrepreneurs. But the sharing economy is rapidly eliminating many of these roadblocks, instead allowing those with initiative to pave new pathways to prosperity. Of course, all of this exciting change brings new challenges. Established firms are fighting to preserve old-fashioned models of business, specifically because they benefit when transaction costs and barriers to entry keep new competitors away. For example, ride-sharing services like Uber have faced regulatory challenges in almost every major city they've entered. Most recently, the city government of Portland, Oregon, ordered Uber to cease service because the drivers lacked proper taxi licenses. Some city governments have even become especially notorious for their hostility towards the sharing economy. New York City, for instance, threatened to shut down Uber, Airbnb, and has even recently threatened people voluntarily gathering to share a meal. Regulators are often so hostile to new players in the market because of the tremendous pressure they receive from established interests. This process of lobbying government officials to pass laws favorable to a particular set of business interests is called regulatory capture. Hotels, restaurants, taxicab drivers, and other actors threatened with new competition from the sharing economy have an interest in keeping barriers to entrance high so they can reap extra profits from the more captive market. This drama is particularly evident when it plays out in the transportation industry, as car services like Uber often advertise how much cheaper their fares are in comparison to taxis. Economic interests are so deep-seated in many industries that regulatory capture is not bound to disappear anytime soon. The sharing economy will certainly face many more challenges, but regulators should remember that competition means more opportunities for entrepreneurship within the middle and poor classes, as well as lower prices for consumers, which gives them more money to spend or invest elsewhere, expanding the economy. Although regulatory capture may amount to speed bumps that prevent the sharing economy from accelerating, the government ultimately cannot stop technological progress. Entrepreneurs will continue to use new tools to make goods and services faster, better, and cheaper. Government force cannot suppress consumer will. Companies like Uber have demonstrated that they realize this by opening in many cities where the legal status of their operations is uncertain or even forbidden. Several state and local governments are trying to get ahead of this curve by approaching Uber first in order to draw new 21st century regulations. Colorado, for example, became the first state to officially legalize ride-sharing services. Established industries must also learn to evolve to meet modern technological realities or become obsolete. An economic process called creative destruction, in which innovators create new competitive pressure that drives market actors to abandon inefficient models and improve their own services. I hope you enjoyed my economic perspectives regarding Uber, Airbnb, and the competition the emerging sharing economy is facing. Go UMass!